Hello and welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are now starting to get some Mortal Kombat reviews, and as I do here, I like to go through them and discuss them. Now, I'm trying to keep this as down the line as possible. I've got some positive and I've got some negative, and I will just flip-flop between them, so you can get a more well-rounded viewpoint on the potential of whether you will like this movie or not. I myself will review this the moment I have watched it, so if you want to stay tuned for that, please do hit subscribe, and if you enjoy this video and the content that I'm trying to bring you, again, please do hit that like button. We also have memberships open as well, actually, so please do check out that and the benefits that you do get. So, this is Critical Hit. Now, like I said, the movie has actually been out in certain parts of the world now, and this is a fairly positive opening. It literally says, not flawless, but still a victory. So not bad. Not bad at all. Genuinely. So it opens with, watching Mortal Kombat, I was reminded of Eddie Gordo. Wait, back up. Put down the pitchforks and torches, all you fighting game fans. This is no faux pas, deserving a good bludgeoning. I'm fully aware that Capoeira, I'm butchering this, practicing Eddie is from Tekken, a rival fighting game franchise to the long-standing video game series. This new R-rated Mortal Kombat reboot film is adapting to screen. But hear me out on this analysis. Eddie's whirl-gig fighting style involves a whole lot of eye-catching and entertaining flair. A portion of his attacks is pure fan service flashiness, while another portion is all just plain, painfully blatant misses. But in the end, it all still comes together to kick some serious ass. And that's exactly what Mortal Kombat does. So, basically, a fair amount of fan service. Some stuff doesn't land, but it rounds itself out with something that's enjoyable. That's basically what Critical Hit is saying. Interesting. Now, they comment on the director, so what VFX guru turned first-time director Simon McQuoid gives us here is, without a doubt, no flawless victory. And if me forcing that line from the game into my review made you roll your eyes, then I would suggest you getting used to revolving your orb so far back in your skull you can see your own spinal cord. The screenwriters Greg Russo and Dave Callahan try to work iconic catchphrases and trademark visual cues into the film whenever they can, even when it sometimes makes no plausible sense. When it does work, though, oh man, I was punching the air in fanboy giddiness. So, a lot of fan service elements. Some land, some don't. The ones that land, though, great, is what this individual is saying, which sounds really, really cool. Now, we continue further, and there's some elements of, Simon McQuoid, stage fights, frequently and brutally. Now, they comment on Mortal Kombat games' original calling card was their ludicrous violence. It's kind of shocking that it's taken this long for a live-action adaptation to finally start pouring buckets of R-rated crimson on everything. So, that's good. They are quite literally stating, yeah, it's pretty R-rated. The filmmakers here definitely don't shirk away, giving us a handful of gruesomely satisfying fatalities, aka ultimately gory finishes, straight from the games. Personally, as bloodthirsty as this makes me sound, I would have loved a few more fatalities, but luckily the fights overall already get pretty intense, so that's good. So, some lacking fatalities, but all in all, the fights are very good, which I think from the trailers you could tell that. Now that's helped along substantially by Benjamin Wallfish's pounding score, so that's good. Nice to see that that is pretty decent. Now, they get into some elements of the plot, so I don't really want to go there. That's not what I want to touch on here, because there's no point there. I don't want spoilers, but basically some of it lands, some of it doesn't. So people seem to like it, but all in all, yeah. Now IGN gave a really bad review, really bad, in fact. So Video game adaptations are notoriously hard to pull off, but the task becomes significantly harder when the source material is an arcade fighting game with the plot and characters there just as an excuse to make people fight. After the 95 adaptation that delivered lukewarm results and its terrible sequel that killed the franchise, 2021's Mortal Kombat will make the fans of the long-running video game series happy, because it turns out the best way to adapt a Mortal Kombat game is to treat it like a Mortal Kombat game. You consider plot and character development mostly as an afterthought, and excel at the only thing gamers love about the series: gory, inventive fatalities. Now, I actually think that that's very negative, and I think a lot of people are going to be really annoyed about that. Personally, I genuinely think that does not sound good at all. Now, again, they go a little bit into the plot here. Don't want to touch on that. Now, let's start with the good, and that truly is the iconic fight sequences gamers know and love from the series. The director did a fantastic job staging these fight sequences with every bit of excitement they deserve, but what's truly shocking is just how much like the game it is. It won't be an understatement to say that Mortal Kombat might be the most shockingly gory studio blockbuster in a long time. The fatalities here are incredibly brutal and show some very imaginative fatalities and graphic detail. These unexpected moments are the best part of the adaptation by far, and worth the price of admission alone if you care about the source material. It's a little disappointing that a lot of the best parts are in the Red Band trailer though. The movie also does a solid job at visualising the crazier visual aspects of the game, whether it comes to the Netherrealm or Sub-Zero's icy trickeries, by either embracing the crazy or grounding them in a way that we can relate to in our real world. It's also a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously all the time, thanks to the addition of Kano as the foul-mouthed wisecracker who is aware of the absurdity of all of this and makes the proceedings a lot more fun to witness. That's good. Now, here's some of the more negative. Where the movie doesn't entirely land is the story and the characters. Mortal Kombat has always been known to have a complicated lore and mythology, so no one expected the filmmakers to literally translate that here. I think some fans probably will. But what we do get is surprisingly simplified and dumbed down to the point that it creates apathy within the audience with the basic bad people are coming to take over Earth storyline. I think that's going to annoy people, to be fair. Whatever exposition we do get is not handled elegantly, as characters just spew off chunks of it in stilted dialogue scenes. It also makes the world itself feel smaller than it should, especially because we spend a vast majority of the time in a generic cave in the middle of nowhere, and the rest of it in alleys and deserted homes. That's a shame, because some of the set pieces looked amazing. This same dumbing down also applies to the characters, who either have no backstory or incredibly derivative ones. It's especially evident with Cole Young, who feels like a passive protagonist with a cliche chosen one backstory that isn't helped by Lewis Tan's wooden performance to go with it. The only exception to this is Scorpion, who gets an incredibly effective prologue, and Hiroyuki Sanada's performance really makes you feel for his pains. That's good. That's good. Now, doubling back to, again, a relatively positive one. Review. This is on SCMP, South China Morning Post. Mortal Kombat movie review. Gleefully violent video game adaptation, and a treat for fans of the video game franchise. So, just to break it down specifically to bite-sized chunks, the director understands and honours the film's video game origins, including memorable lines of dialogue and signature fight moves. Don't expect a nuanced character drama. When they're not fighting, characters bicker and spout pseudo-spiritual idioms until it's time to square off again. So good and bad as an opener. Now, they put 3.5 out of 5 stars. Not particularly great. So, fans of the long-running Mortal Kombat game franchise finally have cause for celebration after enduring numerous film adaptations that neuter the notoriously graphic violence of the game's first-time director. He delivers the series' trademark fatalities in all their glory. So people keep banging on about the fatalities. They love them. Thanks in large part to the participation of producer James Wan, Warner Brothers' big screen reboot of Mortal Kombat is not only bloodier and swearier than previous iterations of the Supernatural Tournament showcase, it also positions its Asian protagonists and antagonists front and centre for the first time. That's neither here nor there, really, is it? Let's be honest. The film's international cast boasts a number of established Asian performances, including, again, the fact that I hate reviews when they just keep banging on about stuff like this. That's not important. The individuals that they are saying are, front and center are actually fantastic actors, but that shouldn't make or break a film, quite frankly. Now, they talk about the film's breakout star is Lewis Tan, previously seen in Wu Assassins and Into the Badlands, who lands the lead role of washed-up MMA fighter Cole Young. Again, going back into just ridiculous stuff here. spoilers and stuff. They always love spoilers in their reviews. To his credit, the director understands and honours these video game origins and includes memorable lines of dialogue and signature fight moves throughout. The fight choreography achieves an impressive synergy between elaborate martial arts and superpowered effects work, which is aided significantly by the natural abilities of the film's adept and athletic cast. And they actually had the cast doing their own stunts, so that's great. Nuanced character drama, this most certainly isn't. Instead, this is boxers with ninja blood and green berets with robot arms pummeling invisible lizards and bat-winged demon babes to a bloody pulp. When they're not fighting, characters bicker and spout pseudo-spiritual idioms until it's time to square off again. Mortal Kombat is not for the discerning palate, but for those in the know, get over here. So they're trying to say that fans will like it, but I don't know if that's going to be the case, to be fair. Because I think they don't give fans enough credit. They're like, oh, well, you know, it's got the fatalities. Fans will love it. Oh, fans are not expecting the lore. And it's like, I think they probably are. So, Mortal Kombat review. Not a flawless victory, but certainly victorious. So we end on a positive one, because they're largely more positive than they are negative, which is good. Now, they, again, talk about the fatalities. Not really that important. What I will say is that the film takes place before the actual tournament is a rallying of the troops, where the audience gets to meet the combatants and find out more about them. Sometimes it does feel quite rushed, as not every fighter gets a well-rounded intro, but it's far from the overstuffed Mortal Kombat Annihilation where characters just appeared for the sake of it. So that's good, positive. Again, don't want to get into too much. Josh Lawson's Kano is also a standout, so that's good. In terms of comic relief, he provides the side-splitting lines that everyone is thinking in the moment. Looking at how the character was written, it's easy to see why Johnny Cage wasn't included, since they'd be too similar. So that's good. That's a positive, anyway. I will not say anything else about Cage, because just watch the movie, so they're hinting at Cage. That's good as well, positive. Yeah, not much else really to get into here. They talk about Lewis Tan, so there's a lot of debate about Lewis Tan's Cole Young character when he was announced. However, he feels like a total natural in the franchise. While his legacy is uncovered, his powers and movesets are unique. Plus, Cole's journey has the emotional hook to resonate with the everyday man. Don't be surprised if you see him included in a game or DLC in the future. So, positive. Round out, like, it's fairly positive. It's sounding pretty good. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, please do hit subscribe. Are you looking forward to this movie? Drop it down below. Take care.